if other people can do it, you can also do it, right? They are no far different from you. Okay, because I also came from the tier 3 college, so if someone is getting inspired from me, then I'm more than happy, right? Because if I can do it, other people can also do it. They just have to keep believing in themselves and keep going. The results will definitely come once you have done enough practice, right?
Hi, everyone. Welcome to another interesting episode of Mentors on Mic. I'm Saumya, your host, and today I have a very special guest with me, Prankur Gupta. He is currently working as software engineer at Amazon, and yes, he is. I know that most of you follow him. He is favorite senior. He is a motivation for most of you. So yes, Prankur, why don't you introduce yourself to our audience?
Yeah, thanks, Soumya, for your warm introduction. So, hi everyone, Prankur here. So, guys, my journey started from a tier 3 college where I started my graduation in BTech and computer science. And in the last year of my graduation, I got PPO from TCS through CodeVita. And after working of 2 years in TCS, I switched to Amazon. And from last 6 months, I am working as a software developer at Amazon. Yeah, this is
Interesting.
pretty much about me. Yeah.
Very inspiring story. Like we all know you from LinkedIn. Like you keep
Mm.
sharing how you got into this company from that company. So yes, you are an inspiration for many people. So Prankur, tell our audience how you prepared for Amazon. Like how was the journey to switch from
Mm.
TCS to Amazon? What were the processes, preparations? Like first of
Mm.
all, tell us the complete preparation how you did, and then we will come to the interview rounds. Okay.
Sure.
Yeah.
So the year was 2020. In June 2020, basically the thing came to my mind that after like I just completed my 1 year in TCS, and I thought now I think it's my time to start my preparation for product based companies, because I was seeing some gaps in service based company and people who were working in product based company. I get into contact with some of my seniors or through LinkedIn, and I get to know the difference or kind of work which is being done in a product based company and a service based company. So from there onwards, I thought let's begin my preparation and see where I reach. So what I first of all, the first step for me was to see what all things are required, what all skill sets are required to get into a product based company. So I listed down all those things, and there were 2 3 things which came in front of me. The first one was data structure and algorithms. You should be really good in problem solving. Okay. The second thing was CS fundamentals, as I was a 1 year experience. So I thought at least I should have some basic knowledge of each and every subject which I did in my graduation, I would say. And apart from that, I thought the third thing which is very important for you is communication skill. By communication skill, I mean you should be able to express whatever is coming to your mind. Okay, like it is fine that you know the solution, but it is also very important that you able to express your things to the interview in the best possible manner. Okay, so these were 3 things which came to my mind, and there is one more thing which is project. But for that, I didn't have to really focus upon, because my project of TCS was quite good to mention or elaborate during the interview. So these were the 3 things, like DSA, second is CS fundamental, and the third one was communication skill. So the major thing I think where I was lacking was the DSA part. Why? Because in my college days I did some DSA, but I was not really, I would say, very. I did it in really depth, and I didn't did it in really good fashion or following a plan or a strategy. But this time I thought let's begin with a proper plan and strategy. So, but the again the problem was I didn't have any mentor or anyone to ask something. So I created my own plan and strategy. Like I learned from all the mistakes which I did in college, and this time I realized what different I can do this time. So I thought let's create a plan. I thought I won't be solving random problems from different platforms, because that didn't work for me during my college days. So I thought let's list down all the data structures which are required. I listed down all the data structures, and I have also shared my plan recently in my LinkedIn post as well, and it got a really good response. So I listed down all those data structures with the timeline, with the tentative time, that how much time I should give to each and every data structure. And I did it for my own. Like it was my plan, which was very suitable for me. And I also suggested people that if you want such plan, you should create a customized plan for yourself. You should not use someone else plan, right? Because I knew that in which particular topic I am comfortable in, so I gave a tentative timeline to that particular topic and I followed that plan. And while doing this, like once I had the plan ready, that all these data structures and all the timelines, after that I thought like what resources I can use to study these data structure or solve problem. So I chose two resources. The first one was Geeks for Geeks, and the second one was Lead Code. I use them, and at one time or at one moment, I was focusing on only one platform. If I'm focusing on Geeks for Geeks, I was not solving questions from Lead Code. Why? There is a reason behind it, that uh, there are different kind of problems, different kind of ID or whatever thing there is. I tried sticking to only one platform, so that my primary focus was to focus on some product based companies, right? And on Lead Code, I realized that there was no filter based on the company names. Like I can't see problems based on company names. There we can see, but for that we need premium subscription or premium membership, right? But in Geeks for Geeks, everything was there. Like I could see problems with topic tags and also with company tags, in which particular company this question has been already asked. So I chose Geeks for Geeks for that, and for 6 months my primary focus was to solve problems from Geeks for Geeks. Okay. And during this time I was not just solving problems, but I was documenting each and everything which I was doing. So by documenting I mean I was writing down like creating notes, so that from after 1 year or 2 year down the line, if I have to start preparation, I don't start it from the base, right? So it is very important that you keep on writing this stuff with whatever you are learning. Okay. So creating notes really helped me. Even it is helping me even now. If I want to give any interview, I can just go through my notes and I'm well prepared. So this is one of the things. And this there was also one more thing, that there were a lot of times when I realized that when I was solving a problem, I am not able to solve it, or I used to get demotivated. But I had a plan, right? As I told you before, that I had a plan that I have to finish this data structure within this particular time frame. So that plan really helped me to stay motivated and stay consistent during my journey. So instead, if I would have started solving random problems, then I would have definitely get into some different direction, or get demotivated or not able to try stuff. So it happened with me a lot, but staying with the plan really helped me to stay consistent. So I was able to complete all my data structures and algorithms part within 6 months of time frame. Okay. And so this is all about my preparation. And the second major part which was very difficult for me apart from preparation was the getting an interview call. And this is where most of the tier 3 what you can say students, or
Students.
even people who are working in a service based company, they find it really difficult to get the first interview call. And the same thing happened with me as well. Like I started applying during my preparation phase itself, but I was not getting even a single call. But with the passage of time, I kept on optimizing my resume. I kept on using different resources like Naukri.com. I used job alerts from LinkedIn. I used Insta Hire. I used Angel Listing. I used all of these resources, and I kept on applying into different companies based on my profile, which is all the job applications which were matching to my skill sets. And after doing some optimizations, like learning about ATS tool, during my job hunt process, I learned about ATS tool, what kind of optimizations we can do in our resume. So all those things I went through, and after 3-4 months, finally I got my first interview call from Snapdeal. And won't you believe, but on the same week I got interview calls from Morgan Stanley and Amazon also. So 3 interview calls on the same week, on the month of March 2021. I still remember that. And after that, I was able to crack interviews of all of them. And finally, I decided to join Amazon.
Amazing. What an inspiring journey, Prankur. And really,
Yeah.
you explained to us very neatly, very crisply. Like you
Mhm.
did all the preparation on yourself. I see many people like want to join some coding schools, etc. Also, like what's your view on that? Like, is self preparation enough, or should they join a coding school, those coding institutes which explain data structure algorithm, which help them crack that dream interview? So what's your take on that thing?
Yeah, so the thing is, I do conduct one-on-one session with a lot of people through different platforms. One of them is Mentro.
Right.
So I have like came across this question so many times. So whenever I face this question, I usually first ask them, "What is your background in DSA? Like, are you a beginner? Are you aware what kind of different data structures are there, or like even are you even from a CS background or a mechanical or different branch?" So I usually ask them this question. So my way of answering this question is that if you are completely from a different field, like you are from a mechanical background or you are from a different stream, then my suggestion is to go for a structured path or follow some course that
Right.
will eventually help you. Otherwise, it is very difficult if someone is from a different background and he wants to get into this thing. It is a whole different picture. So I usually suggest them to go through some live programming courses. Like there are different kind of platforms. I know
Right. Right.
Stellar Academy, Newton School, a lot of platforms are
Hmm.
there. So
Right.
they can choose any of them, and because they provide everything in a single package, right? The fees is there, but still it is worth it if you are getting an interview call and you are getting opportunities to get into some companies. Then I think it is worth it. So
Right.
people, yeah.
I completely agree from your point.
Hmm.
Like, you were from technical background, you knew
Yes.
that okay, I have to do these preparations. You have the like picture in your mind. Okay, this is data
Yes.
structure. For a person who is like completely from a non-technical background, then
Hmm.
definitely a like path, a course should help. And like Prankur, we know that you mostly use lead code. You used GFG, and you are helping your like juniors, everyone, the
Hmm.
aspiring devs via your LinkedIn profile. We know that you like joined a Mentro as well as a mentor,
Hmm.
and indeed, like it will be a great opportunity for all those students who will get the chance to talk to you one on one. So, in my
Hmm. Hmm.
opinion, like when I was in my college, I really felt the need of a good senior, a potential senior who can help me
Hmm.
out, who can bridge the that gap, who can tell me okay how to
Yes.
prepare for those placements and what are the like good dev skills, etc. I'm
Hmm.
glad that Mentro is doing that work, like they are
Hmm.
bridging that gap.
Hmm.
No, now
Hmm.
students can talk to aspiring software and like sorry like expert software engineers like
Hmm.
Prankur.
Hmm.
So how will you be helping those juniors, those beginners via Mentro community? Like, will you provide resume review kind of help or mock interview? So how you are going to help them?
Yeah, so Soumya, you have proved a very good point that during our preparation phase, as I said, I am also from a tier three background. I never found someone who can mentor me during my preparation phase. Even during my preparation phase of 6 months, I never found someone who can mentor me. Even my seniors, no one from my seniors was into some big product based company. So I had no example in front of me, but I used to find search on LinkedIn and try to find that if there are people who have switched from TCS to some big names, fang names. So I used to get some inspiration from that. But again, I had to define my path on my own. I had to plan everything, strategize everything on my own. So this is something where I found there is a gap in between. So Mentro has filled that gap, and many other platforms are filling that gap, and I'm really happy about that. And I usually recommend people who are coming to me via DMs through LinkedIn to have a one-on-one call with me. We can have a discussion on whatever queries you have, and I usually there is always more. I try to provide always something more than what people has like paid for. Like if someone has booked a resume review session with me, and my resume review session is not just about reviewing their resume. I do more than that. I do provide them my learnings and experiences which I gained during my job and process. Why? Because I have gone through the same phase. I know that doing the resume review is not enough. Just having a good resume is not enough. There is much more than that. If you are from a tier 3 or a service based company, you have to explore different resources, like as I said, LinkedIn, Insta Hire, Naukri.com. You can't just sit idle that your resume is perfect, now you should get the interview call. It won't happen. It Because I did so many optimizations, but still I was not getting interview calls. but eventually using multiple resources at the same time, things started getting in place, and finally I got the interview call after 3-4 months after doing so many things. And I try to share my learnings and experiences in on those calls, which I get to connect through Mentro with different people.
Right.
So yeah, so my main aim is to provide more and more exposure to what actually is, not what myths are there, right? So because I have gone through the same thing. Yeah.
Right, Prankur. Very much agree on that point of yours. So, like, in our audience, there would be many people who also want to get that dream job at Amazon, right? So, why don't you tell us about those rounds through which you went, the DSA round, everything in detail? Yeah.
Hmm. So, if I talk about my interview experience of Amazon, my first round was online assessment. Okay, in that online assessment, there were two coding questions. Okay, and along with those coding questions, there was also a text editor where I had to explain my approach. Okay, like after once my code gets run, after that I had to explain what I did in my code and what is the time and space complexity, so that they can see if you are able to explain your approach or not. Okay, and though both questions were very standard, and it is not like really competitive programming questions, those were very standard questions. Anyone with the medium level understanding of DSA can answer those questions. Okay, once I cleared the online assessment round, after that I got an interview call for the first round. They said I have passed the online assessment, and I got an interview call for the next round. And both those rounds were conducted. Next two rounds were conducted on the same day. So one was in the morning and the second one was in the evening, and both of them were technical rounds, problem solving rounds. And in both rounds, they asked me two questions, two DSA questions. And while answering those questions, I have realized that there is a structured way you can follow to answer those questions. It is not like you are, because in one-on-one calls, when I do conduct mock interviews, I have realized that people are directly jumping to the optimal solution. It should not happen like that. I did my research and I found that first you have to go, because even during my practice itself, I was jumping into the optimal solution, but it should not happen like that. You have to first focus on the brute force solution, explain it to the interviewer. Once the interviewer says that it is you have to optimize it, only then you should go for the optimal solution. Okay, so I followed that path. I have also created some videos related to the same, that how to answer a problem or how to solve a coding question during interviews. So there I have covered each and every bit about how you can begin, how you can approach a problem from brute force to optimal solution, what questions you can ask to the interviewer, what things you have to keep in mind while answering, while writing the code. So these all things matter during these problem solving rounds. And in Amazon interview itself, I followed the same process which I discussed in one of my videos. And I can't reveal the actual questions, but I would say that all of those questions were quite standard. The questions level of Amazon interview is very standard. Most of their questions are already available everywhere. So,
Right.
but my experience was that first round I was able to crack easily. Like both of those questions were very, very relatable and very standard questions. But in the second round, what happened was they asked me a question from the topic which I was not really good with, I would say. And I didn't revise my concepts of that topic before Amazon interview. And I was like, but I had that confidence that I can crack it. Like this thing had in my mind. I don't know how it came during that during the interview, but I thought no, I should give it a try. At least I should come up with the brute force. The rest of the things I will taken care of. Like I will be discussing with the interviewer, and then let's see what happens. So I came up with the brute force solution, and after that he told me that no, you should optimize it and all. And the time was getting passed, but also suddenly there was a like power cut, I would say, for 10 minutes got wasted during that whole process. I got blank, like what should I do, what should I do? Again I rejoined, and then the interview, luckily the interviewer was there, and he told me that you can just tell me the optimal solution and we are done. You don't have to write the code for it. So I don't know how it happened, but somehow I'm able to come up with the optimal solution by discussing with him. And after the interview I was really not sure whether I will be getting call for the next round or not. Okay, but I remember the question, so I went to Geeks for Geeks to look what question is it? Like, what is it? Have I even solved this question before or not? So I found that it was a standard question. If I would have revised my concepts of that topic, I would have easily able to crack that, like easily able to answer that question. But luckily, I was not expecting a call for the next round. I am telling you frankly, but again, I got a call, and I don't know, maybe because the answer or the solution which I told to the interviewer, that was actually correct. Actually, it was very the solution was very close to the solution which I saw in Geeks for Geeks, and it was a standard question. So it hit my mind during the interview, and I was able to answer that question luckily. So after those two rounds, both next two rounds were basically behavioral rounds. In both the rounds, they ask me all the questions related to my project. They get into the depth of my project, and during that process, their primary focus was not about the project, but what I did in that project. Like what were my roles and responsibilities, how I tackled different situations and all. So this was their primary focus on those behavioral questions, behavioral rounds. And I use the popular strategy named the STAR method to answer behavioral questions. And once both of those rounds got cleared, finally I got the offer.
Awesome, and congratulations for that. So, Prankur, like we want to know, in that last technical round, was the data structure graph?
I think you have went through my Amazon interview experience videos.
No, not really. I haven't.
Yes,
like this was just a guess.
Yes, it was from graph. So how it came to your mind?
Because I had the same thing in I had a similar situation when I was giving interview for Red Hat as well. So a graph question was thrown on me, but yeah, I was able to solve. So I also don't like graphs much, but yes, it's fine.
Actually, I did my preparation on graph, but it is just that I went through some interview experiences of Amazon before preparing for Amazon. So I was doing company specific questions, and I didn't find a single question of graph during Amazon interview experiences. So I thought they won't be asking me graph questions. So I didn't revise concepts of graph. But unfortunately, I got this same topic question.
Yeah. Right. So we can call it good luck or bad luck, but yes, at the end, it happened, you got the offer. Yeah. So yeah, good luck. Yes. So Prankur, you while answering that question, while telling about the rounds, you told us about a star method, star something you used, right? While star answering method, while answering the behavioral question. So why don't you tell our audience about star method quickly?
Yeah, so STAR method is basically used to answer behavioral questions in a structured manner, you can say, because when we talk about STAR method, there S stands for situation given to you. Like if I ask you, have you worked on any situation where a deadline was given to you and you were not able to deliver the solution or deliver the result within that stipulated time. So in that situation, you have to tell that, okay, S stands for situation. So it means this was the situation given to me. Okay. The next thing is task. In that situation, what was the task given to you? Where T stands in STAR method, T stands for task. So what was the task given to you in that situation? Okay. And in STAR method, A stands for action. What was the action you performed to complete that task? Okay. And R stands for result. What was the result of performing those actions for that task? So this is what STAR method is. So I use the same method to answer every behavioral questions. Yeah. And they are also expecting you to answer all the questions using STAR method. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, this will be really very well helpful for our audience. So yes, Prankur, I'm sure audience want to know when Prankur started his tech journey. Like talking about me, I got to know about programming, etc. in 11th class. I had C++ as a language. Wow. So yes, I got to know about programming and these languages since then. So when you started your tech journey, or when you thought that, okay, Prankur want to become a software engineer, not only in product-based company, in general, Prankur wants to be a software engineer. Was that in first year of college, or tell us when you thought about it?
Yeah, it was in first year of college itself. Before joining my college, I was not aware of even what you can say C of coding. I was not even what I will be doing during my 4 years of graduation. But when went into my college, I got to know from my seniors, and like I interacted with my seniors and my friends, and I got to know that basically you have to be really good in problem solving to get into some companies. However, the case was there were no good companies visiting our college, but still I thought at least I should prepare myself. And the DSA journey, I would say, it started from the second year itself. And I started learning about different kind of data structures through Geeks or Geeks itself. And I went through some problems of different people, how they solve it and all. But I never solved those problems on my own. I never went to practice section. I just went through problems of different data structures, and to see how what kind of different data structures are there and what problems are there which I can focus upon. And I never gained really a lot of confidence by going through just the articles, because I never solved a lot of questions on my own. So this was basically the second year of my college. From there onwards, I started my problem solving journey. Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah, amazing.
Yeah.
So, yes, Prankur, one last question before we end our
Mhm.
podcast. According to you, what are those two common mistakes which aspiring software engineers make? Maybe during their preparation phase, or maybe during the interview, let's say, like so putting something wrong in resume, or any common two mistakes which you feel people do.
Okay, so the first mistake which directly is coming to my mind is that they basically get demotivated if they are not able to solve problems, right? They get demotivated and they think that they are not capable enough to solve, or they are not capable enough to crack any big product based company, because they are not able to solve problems. Because this situation came to me as well, like many times. But again, I try to stick to my, like, I trust the process, that whatever process in which I am right now, I trust the process and I believed in myself. Once you have the belief that if other people can do it, you can also do it, right? They are no far different from you. Okay, I, because I also came from the tier 3 college, so if someone is getting inspired from me, then I'm more than happy, right? Because if I can do it, other people can also do it. They just have to keep believing in themselves and keep going. The results will definitely come once you have done enough practice, right? Once you have covered enough concepts, once you have covered enough standard problems, the results will definitely start coming. Yeah, this is one of the mistakes. The other mistake, there are actually a lot of mistakes, but I'm thinking which one should be the like the most people do.
Something
Yeah,
in resume.
during the,
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
no, resume is fine, people can do modifications in resume and all, but I think during the interviews they don't. Yeah, during the interviews they should explain their thought process very very clearly, because I have taken so many mock interviews and people are not elaborating what they are thinking. If they are not elaborating what they are thinking, how the interviewer will get to know that you are going in a right or wrong direction? He will not be able to guide you, he won't be able to tell you, or he won't be able to give you some hint. So this is what I have realized, that if even if you know the solution, but if you are not explaining it in best possible way, it can go in a wrong direction, because communication skill also is a very important part of the interview or explaining your approach. So these
Yes.
are the two things. Yeah.
Yes, these 2 points are really very, very important, Prankur. So, yes, to our audience, one last advice you want to give, like how they should do interview preparation or about motivation. Any one last advice that you want to give?
Yeah, I would like to motivate them by saying that if like I can do it, I am, like, I was from a tier 3 college. If I can do it, I can reach to Amazon directly from TCS to Amazon. Then you can also do it. Just believe in yourself, trust the process, and the results will definitely follow. Yeah. Thanks.
Yes, very inspiring, very motivating. I'm sure our audience will get most out of it. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching this podcast. Do check out Prankur on LinkedIn. He is doing an amazing job. So, yes, before the slots get filled, go and like book your slot with Prankur on Mentro as well. So, yeah, have a
Mhm.
great day, everyone. Thank you very much.